Okay, so for this question, it's a combination of a number pattern or more like algebra and simultaneous equation. Okay, so the question started off with giving you 4 numbers. So this one is like a number pattern. If you want to find the n term, you will find that this is a common difference. So if the question asks you for n term, this will have been a common difference. But in this case, the question never asks you for the n term. Okay, look carefully. Actually, in this question, they gave you the sum of the first n term. That means if you add up the sum of the, that means if you add up the first n term, it will be provided by this formula. So sum of the first n term. Okay, so a lot of people will misunderstand this as the n term. It's different from the n term. N term means it will give you a specific term. So if I would like the 50th term, okay, that means n is equal to 50. But in this case, this formula adds up the n term. So it adds up. So they give you a sample here. So take a look, they give you a sample. So when n is equal to 1, meaning right, you are only adding one term. When n is equal to 1, that means you add only one term. That means if you add only one term, you only get 8. You are just adding one term. That's why it will be 8. And how do we get the p plus q? Okay, so when n is equal to 1, you will get this. That means n is equal to 1. And because you are only adding up one term, you got 8. That's how the equation comes about. So for you are supposed to show 4p plus 2q equal to 19. So you go to the next two terms. You want to add the next two terms. So when you are adding the next two terms, means n is equal to 2. You put it inside this formula. So if I put it inside this formula, that's what I gotten. And the formula says you are adding the first two terms. Means I'm going to add these two. And that's how I gotten the 19. So the formula is helping you to add up the first n term. That means if let's say I'm going to put n equal to 3 into this formula, I will get 9p plus 3q, and I should be adding up the 3 terms. So this formula is helping you to add up the terms. So that is the understanding. Okay. So for A part 1, let's say you couldn't do A part 1, you can do your A part 2 in an isolated manner because it's just solving simultaneous equation. So A part 2 has no bearing to A part 1. If you can't prove, you continue to solve with the simultaneous equation. So essentially, you must understand the formula is not the n term. The formula is helping you to add up the first n term. Okay, so we are going to extend this to part B. Again, this is the sum of the first n term. So you are adding up the first n term. So this formula will give you the sum. So like I say, it's different from the n term. So we are interested to find the 10th term. So what most people will do is, a lot of people will give this part. They will do this part and then they will give the answer as 370. They wouldn't think more, but it will be wrong. The 370 happens after you add up the 10th term. So you can draw it out like this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the 370 happen when you add up the first 10 term. If you are only interested in the last term, which the question is asking, then I should subtract away this total, the sum of the first 9 terms. So that's why I work out the sum of the first 9 terms. I added the first 9 terms. So the formula will help me add up if I put in n equal to 9. So the sum of the first 9 terms is 306. So from here, you do simple math, you just subtract, you will get the 10 term. Okay, so this question is very different from the usual n term that you are looking at. The usual n term will directly go to the specific term you want. So if I want the 80th term, n is equal to 80. If I want the 100th term, n is equal to 100. But here, the formula is adding u, helps you to add up without you actually adding up. So it's different from the n term. So that's why this question, a lot of students will have some issues and they might get it wrong and they couldn't understand.